Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Glenn McGowan. This is Atlas Bowen. Today we're going to be rolling fenders. Why? Because my tires are rubbing the fenders. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I got a chance to actually drive the car now since I have the wheels and tires on it, the suspension dialed in, and I was out for maybe like an hour or so, and I was just kind of hitting some corners and kind of getting on it a little bit. And I got back, I smelled rubber, I saw rubber all over the wheels and down the quarter panel and stuff like that. It's not bad, but it's just enough. So the inside lips and the rear are just kind of rubbing on there. It's mainly because the wheels and tires that I have, like, the tire's not exceptionally wide, it's a 245, but the rim is a 34 millimeter offset, so it essentially pushes it out to the outside of the quarter panel, and that's why it's hitting. So what was on there before was an 8.5 inch rim with a 47 millimeter offset, I believe. So there's plenty of room on the inside, but the outside is kind of what I'm running into right now of it rubbing. So I figured, you know what? I have two options here. I could kind of camber in the wheels a little bit. So I just decided maybe, you know what, let me just roll the quarters a little bit, the lips on there, and then that should give me enough clearance that I need so I don't have any issues with the rubbing. So got myself a fender roller here, and it's from Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description here. It comes in multiple pieces like this that I gotta put together, so that'll be fun. And then we'll get the rear wheels off, and then we'll bolt this thing on and start rolling those out and try to get some more clearance.
This week's video is brought to you by LCOBMW parts. Visit our online store for E36, E46, and E90 parts, or follow us on Instagram at LCOBMW. All the links are in the description below.
All right, so the directions are great here. We got like a picture of it and then like a parts list. So I guess that'll do for now, right? So judging by the pictures, there's this piece here, and then we got to put this one threaded sleeve in here like this, and then this long rod goes through here, threads in. It's my first time rolling a fender. A lot of my custom cars are fiberglass, so a grinder is your fender roller, and that's always fun. The threads are great. All right. And then at that point, there's a bigger, longer sleeve here like this, and that's going to go through this big hole here. I mean, my picture for reference here. And that goes through there. Okay, so essentially this longer sleeve through there. Run that in. That. And then this piece goes through here. That. Thread that in some more. And there's a nut and bolt that go hold the, call it the adjuster rod, pressure rod. Man, the prices for these were like all over the place. There was like a $120 one, or like a $140 one. And I think this was like 40 bucks. So I'm like, does that mean it's gonna break the first time I use it? But I figured I'm probably only gonna use this like just this one time. But it'll be good to have just in the shop if I need it. All right, go like that. And I believe this is the piece. This is like already assembled. Like that, it came like that. And then this goes in here. Okay, so it looks like, I think that piece, that opening piece there, see like that. And this goes all the way in there. And I guess adjust the height of it when you bolt it to your hub. Okay. And then there's a pin here. That I guess you can lock. Let's see here. Either one of these is just like another setting, I guess, here. So I'll just throw this in here for right now, and then I'll tighten everything down. Like that. Okay. And then there's the weirdest thing is there's this handle with all these washers. Someone comment down below, tell me why there's all these washers. Doesn't say in here. It has a picture of it with like one on it, and then the other picture has all of them on it, just like one side. I'll just do what the picture does. Leave them all on one side. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. Alright. So, ready to roll some fenders, it looks like. Just tighten everything down. Be good to go. Okay, so got it bolted to the hub. I ended up having to tilt this whole arm inwards and put it kind of up in here to get a position. But that helps too because there's not a lot of clearance this way. So I tilted that forward. This piece is down all the way and I have it right on the inside of this lip here. So I'm just gonna kind of tighten everything down here. And then I believe I have the car in neutral, obviously, e-brake off so I can actually rock this thing back and forth here. So now I'm just going to tighten this down, see if I get it the right way. That's my way. All right, so I'm just tightening it a little bit at a time, pushing it forward. Let's try this for a little bit to see if there's any progress. And at the same time, try not to buckle the quarter panel since it's the first time I did this, but we'll be all right. Easy does it, you know? So simple, but it seems like it's working really good. So the lip underneath here is almost like a U, and there's like seam sealer on the inside here. So, you know, essentially I'm just going to flatten that as much as possible. All right, so I've been rocking on this for a little bit. I ended up at one point taking a measurement of the lip on the inside, how far away it was from the actual quarter, just for like a reference. I mean, I probably should have done that right out of the gate, but it's moved in a substantial amount. So I'm pretty confident right now. So I'm gonna put the wheel back up in here. I'm gonna jack the suspension up and then just check that for clearance. I'd say this thing works really good. I'm breaking a sweat doing it, but it's doing its job. All right, so I got this thing jacked almost all the way up in here, and there's a good, like almost quarter-inch gap in here, which was nothing before. It was literally against the tire, so that worked out really well. Just a couple little issues here. It looks like with the bumper area is kind of getting a little close in there, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. But other than that, inside here is like perfect. I'll show you real quick. Maybe hard to tell, but you can see there's a nice gap up in there now. Okay, so I'm on the passenger side. I learned a couple things. I learned to take my measurement first this time. Also, all those stupid washers, there's 5 of them. Yeah, you guessed it, for each lug nut. They're actually like conical on the inside. So that's how it's supposed to go up against this thing. I was just running them on this flange here, which worked fine, but that's what they're for, so if you're guessing. So we'll hook this back up, do it one more time. Man, that is a workout. But that should do the trick there. So I can get the wheel back on, get it back on the ground, drive it, and then hope to God that did it. All right, before I put it down, I am going to just check for clearance again now. There's probably an additional like 1/4 inch gap now than there was before, so it did come in a decent amount. So that looks good. So I'm just going to go for a drive real quick and then see if there's any marks on the rubber and stuff like that. Okay, so I just got back to the ride, so there's no evidence of any wear on the tires currently, so I'm pretty confident that that worked out really well. So I have to say, this fender roller here is really good. For the money, I mean, it's built really well, and they're like 1/4 inch thick steel here. This worked exceptionally well. So 40 bucks for this thing, opposed to like the $120 one. Maybe if you roll fenders, you know, 15 times a day, every day of the week, you might want to spend some money on a better one. But if you're just doing, you know, your car once or twice or a couple of your friends' cars, I can't imagine anything going really wrong with this thing. So, you know, thumbs up to that piece there. I think it's really good. So I'm glad I actually have one now. So if I do have any issues in the future, I have a simple, easy solution. And it looks really nice too on the inside. Like it's rolled really kind of smooth in there. And as long as you don't tighten down one area and rut it or something, so it doesn't like really affect it. I mean, normally I would just go in there and cut it out, but I know like that's not always the solution. And I actually, you know, I like this car and I want to kind of keep it original for the most part because the metal on the car is, you know, not rotted or ratty or anything. So besides that, you know, that went really well, so I'm happy and glad I bought that thing. So other than that, the E46 is coming along quite nicely since I got it. So suspension and the wheels and tires are done. I just got a new hood on here, so I don't know if you remember the old one. There's a giant dent here, like 400 creases all over it. So I was able to get this from, you know, a friend of mine in like swap for parts, my parts business and stuff like that. So special thanks to my boy Johnny for hooking me up with this hood. So at least for now, you know, something better on there for when I drive it, because the dents on the other one just look like crap and not a big fan of that. So all in all, you know, for the most part, it's coming along nicely. So other than that, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thanks for watching.